Welcome to Cocktail Hour. I'm Andy.
And I'm the Rev.
Welcome to episode 23.
23.
There's gonna be a revolution. Well, you know. I'm using Rev.
Huh?
I'm using Rev.
You're using what?
Rev.
Oh.
There's gonna be a revolution.
I got it. Oh, okay. That was nice.
Well,
Okay.
the last bar rag, you were irreverent.
I know, I liked that. That was funny, and it caught me out. It caught me just as off guard as as the revolution. I was trying to figure out, okay, how does that tie into what we're reading? Is that the 23rd song on some?
On the Beatles' White Album. What is it? Are you going to sing Helter Skelter next? What's going on?
It's not one of my faves.
No, mine either.
Yeah.
No. But we are quasi enjoying our drink for this evening, which is the Italian Apple Martini.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking it more and more. Yeah, I like it. It's good. Yeah.
Rev and I both doubled the recipe. I put a photo of mine over on Facebook, and it's kind of, it looks like, fortunately, if it were a urine specimen from a horse, they wouldn't shoot it. You know what I mean?
It does look like a healthy specimen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd need to drink a little more water.
I'm just saying. But Rev's apparently, and I haven't seen it yet, but apparently hers is a little more tan than mine.
Yeah, I think I put more cranberry in mine. But, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
When I was making it, my family is sitting around, and I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and double it. And my son said, ooh, if you double it, it'll be double good.
Aw, he's so cute. I just want to pinch his little cheeks.
Yeah. I told him, no, it'll just be twice as much, which might make it double good. I don't know.
That's great. Oh, goodness. For those of you listening who are listening like almost real time, we recorded a bar rag very recently, a bar rag 26 if memory serves. And it was a special announcement letting everyone know that we are going to have a little writing competition, a challenge, something. Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I guess challenge is probably a good word.
Yes.
And in our fervor to get our listeners as excited as we are, we kind of made a little gaffe, I guess you'd say. We in no way meant to imply, infer, or state, obviously, that anything that you write and want to submit becomes ours. It always stays the property of the author.
Right.
What we meant to convey is that you give us permission to put it on the site and to distribute it via, the compiled ebook.
Right.
So
and
that's
anything that's on our site, like our logo or our podcast, those things belong to us.
Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to clear that up. We're gonna reorchestrate the bar rag a little bit so that folks that don't listen almost real time to the regular review episodes will get that message, and hopefully it'll clear it up. Because what we don't want is people to say, oh, hell no, I'm not going to be writing all this, and all of a sudden it's not mine if I turn it in. Hell no. Because, it is your baby. But by turning it in, you're giving us the rights to post it and distribute it. So that's what we meant. It just didn't come off that way.
Yeah. We were drunk. What are you going to do?
Wait a minute, I wrote it at work, damn it. No, I wasn't drunk at work.
You might. Yeah, don't tell the people you work with that. I mean...
That's so wrong. Although I did tell my boss that when I went to Total Wines on my lunchtime Friday to get everything I needed, they have these flasks. You buy 3 of them. They're $9.99. There's no metal in them whatsoever, and they're reusable. I'm not, in perpetuity. I mean, I'm sure they have you can reuse them maybe like 5 or 6 times, and then you pitch it. But apparently, there's no metal whatsoever, and I'm guessing that what they're not saying, but they're trying to convey, is that you could probably sneak this shit on your baggage when you have to go to the airport.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because it was real. It was just the key phrases that they used made you think. Oh, you think you're hoping the TSA doesn't identify it when they do the scan in your carry-on. Mm-hmm.
I don't like to fly, so
I'll be flying for the last 3 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I don't like to fly. No, I'll tell you a story someday about one of my trans-Pacific flights from Japan to California. Used to do a bunch of them.
Yuck! I don't think I would like that flight. That's too long.
It 18 hours in the air. It's horrible, horrible. And those military planes aren't roomy.
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time going to and coming back from Paris. I had a really hard time, and I think that's a 10-hour flight. And I was just, by the time I got off that plane, I was like, it was almost like somebody had given me the ultimate badass wedgie ever. Because I was cranky, I couldn't even smile. I just wanted to rip people's faces off.
Aww.
And I was just like, ah! But next time I try to do that flight, I'm gonna ask for some really strong something to knock my ass out.
Or just take one of those new flasks.
No, I don't want any possible hangover.
Oh.
Yeah. When I had my eyes done recently. And I'm certain our listeners know this because they follow us both on Facebook.
Yes, all 5 of them
yes, all
know
5 of them.
Exactly what we do all the time.
Exactly. And for those listening, I'm not even going to tell you the technical term because I don't remember what it is. But I had an eyelid lift, basically, an eye lift. And they gave me a bottle of 30 pills of Valium. And I think I probably took about 2, maybe 4, not the same day. But
I think you had 2 that one day when we came up with the bearded clam challenge.
Oh yeah, I might have. I took. You know what I did? I took 2 the 2 days before surgery to see how I would react to them, and then the night before surgery they told me to take 1 or 2 depending on my body fat. So I have to take 2. Yeah, and the morning of the surgery I took 1. And then when I got there, they pumped me full of Vicodin, so it was nice. I was feeling no pain.
We recommend it to everyone.
Yeah, Valium and Vicodin, the V combo. The V cocktail. But, don't try to reenact that at home, people. I don't want to be responsible for anything that goes wrong.
Cocktail Hour claims no responsibility for accidental overdoses.
That's right, exactly. So, do we have any other announcements?
No, just, the writing challenge, and, we've got a judging crew in place. We're ready to receive some entries. I've actually heard from quite a few people over the last couple of days, getting more information and spreading the word, and it sounds like it's starting to pick up some momentum.
Yay.
So be sure and get your entries in no later than October 15th, and we'll be doing more announcements before then. So start getting your ideas ready.
Yeah, but we do have one mega announcement about the award.
What?
Have another drink.
About this?
It'll be all right. We decided the first place grand poobah winner actually is going to get cash.
When did we decide this?
We decided
part of
this
conversation.
What? Oh man, let me hit pause.
No, don't hit pause. We'll work it out. Everybody gets to hear. We did? Did I say this?
Yeah, we said, what the hell, I'll chip in X, you chip in X, and that'll be what we do for the award person. But we didn't actually decide on the dollar amount.
Oh, I vaguely remember this conversation.
Yeah, and then we would have for the second and the third placements, we were going to do something, but it wasn't going to be cash. And everybody that entered, and I don't mean some, you keep typing the same thing, like, Susie was a bad girl, Susie was a bad girl, Susie was a bad girl. So
with bearded clam.
With bearded clam. Just because you entered something, because we wanted to try and get everybody to enter something.
Yeah.
Like give them a little something, something. We don't know what it is yet, but see, we're trying to, do a little positive stroking. So we're still trying to work it out, but it's going to be fun for everybody regardless. Let's put it that way.
Be. So go do some damn writing.
Yeah, and you know what? Help us the hell out. Start tweeting it, telling your buddies, posting on Facebook. Help us be some publicists, would you?
Yeah.
Help be our marketing team.
Somebody did ask me if they could use bearded in one sentence and clam in another, and that is no. There are really only two rules, two requirements for the writing challenge. You have to use cocktail hour in a sentence and bearded clam in a sentence, and those groups of words must appear next to each other. Yeah,
together.
I don't care what context it is. You don't have to make bearded clam what it traditionally, is known to be. You can do whatever you want. Be creative. I'm looking forward to somebody really turning it on its head.
You mean what Rev traditionally wants it to mean?
Have you ever heard it mean anything else?
It could be the name of, the hangout for Betty and Wilma when they go and have cocktails over at the Lesbitarian bar.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It doesn't mean somebody's, going down on somebody else and it's hairy, so it's called a clam. I'm just saying.
Or maybe somebody found a clam in the sea.
Okay.
That had a beard on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Maybe it talks.
Kind of like that picture on Skype that you got up.
That's right. My buddy Aaron made that for me. That's right.
You should share that on Facebook.
I did. It's out there.
Well, all right. How long ago? 20 years ago?
I think if you go to my photos, it's there.
Oh, buried in the photos, huh?
I don't know. It might be. It might not be. I don't really know.
Oh, all right, fine. You know what? I'm liking this drink more and more.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think it's actually on the cocktail hour wall.
Oh, my God.
I'm fairly certain it's on the cocktail hour wall.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess it's not.
So, okay, we're rambling now. So let's get back on track and talk about what two stories we reviewed, or we are going to review for this podcast. Wolfsbane.
I know it's...
What?
What?
No. What'd you say?
What?
No.
Let's just say it's been a while, so we had to do a little regrouping today to try and figure out what it was that we were talking about.
I know, it's been, a month?
Yeah, it
since
has.
We've actually recorded something for the reviews. So we're doing Wolfsbane Winter by Jane Fletcher and Rebecca and the Highwayman by Barbara Davies.
Yay. Two really good stories.
Yep, two really good stories. So obviously you're going to know we're going to like them.
Yeah, we liked them.
We did.
I guess that's it then. We'll just go ahead
and go have some more cocktails. See you in 2 weeks. I almost gave Barbara Davies a Facebook message to let her know what we were up to.
But she knows. I've told her a couple times.
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
Yep. I did. And then she was kind enough to let me post the announcement for the writing contest on her Yahoo group, and I just let her know that we haven't given up on doing this show. We just had to put it off. So she knows. So which one do you want to do first, Wolfsbane Winter or Rebecca and the Highwayman?
How about we start with the serious one first, and then we go to the one that's a little lighter hearted, I guess.
All right, so we'll start with Wolfsbane Winter.
Yeah, exactly.
And each of them had quite a bit of humor in them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Wolfsbane Winter, and I'm cheating today. I normally don't do this, but I am going to read the summaries. Ooh, Wolfsbane Winter summary is long. Nice. But it's kind of a complex story.
It is, yes.
All right, so here we go. Anything with two legs and a pulse. The Iron Wolf mercenaries who guard travelers on the Misery Trail are notorious for their quick and casual sex lives. Darren may fit the stereotype better than most, but she has her reasons. Tragedy in her childhood has left her wary of forming attachments. If you don't care, then you can't get hurt, but you can still make a mess of things, such as the outstanding air of judgment that leaves her with no money, forced to spend the winter on a lousy job in a miserable little backwater. There she meets Alana, local healer, vet, and woman of mystery. It does not take Darren long to find out that Alana is more than she seems, and has her own perilous secret to keep. Yet Darren finds herself falling for the woman, so much so that her come-and-go lifestyle is at risk. This would be bad enough, but serious trouble arrives for Darren and Alana in the form of demon magic from the time of chaos, revealing that old legends are not merely material for ghost stories around the fire. As the danger increases, who do they need to fear more, the living or the dead? Well, there you go. So, there you go.
You know, it took me a while to like the Darren character. I don't know. She seemed not as well defined earlier on, and maybe that was Jane Fletcher's point, because she was young and trying to find her sea legs, and so to speak.
You know, she had lost her family, which we find out more detail on later in the book. We meet Darren when she is out on not on the Misery Trail, where it's dangerous and that's where all the mercenaries want to be, fighting off the animals and monsters and creatures and whatnot.
Hence the name Misery.
Right. She's guarding a mine with her adopted mom, and she's 15?
Yeah, she's a youngin', yeah.
Yeah, and there's another woman there who I don't remember her name. I think she just pretty much served to she kind of Darren and she had sex. She lost her virginity with her, and then the woman was killed.
Yeah.
The next day.
Yeah.
Battle. So that just gives Darren more ammunition to keep believing that she needs to stay completely apart from everybody.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we know, it's several years later, and she's just finished up her big trek on the Misery Trail, and then she gets robbed.
Mm-hmm.
By the hookers.
You gotta love those hookers.
And she got loved up by two of them first.
Yeah. I want to break out in song again so bad. But go ahead.
Yeah. So meanwhile, so there's that part of the story. And then you have Alana, who's like the black sheep of her demon spawn family, who all have these, big powers, and they're part of the royal family. And her girlfriend, who's like wet nurse, or not wet nurse, but like a nurse, essentially like a nanny.
Yeah.
And Alana feels bad because, she doesn't have any powers. And then this evil guy comes and tells her that she actually does have powers, and he strips the barriers in her head, and then she goes crazy and has to move to the boonies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't want to give too much away,
I don't. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly an adventure story with a little splash of romance thrown in, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So, Darren ends up, after she gets robbed, she ends up in this little town. I think it's called Newport, something like that. And so she and Alana meet. The best parts of the story, I thought, or not the best parts, but part of the best parts were the two guys that she ends up working with. She ends up contracting with the local law enforcement. Who one guy, Sergeant Nevin, is fat and lazy and stupid and incredibly mean-spirited, and the only other guy on the force is named Ross, and he's got some kind of low-grade retardation, I think. He means well, but he just doesn't have the mental capacity to function in a way that allows him to not have a tremendous amount of supervision.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of adventure, and it's really cool. But here's the thing: do you want to talk about any of that? Because I kind of want to jump right to the stuff that kind of bothered me.
Go ahead, jump right in.
You don't have anything to say?
I have been saying things here and there.
All right. I just don't want to. I want to make sure you have enough opportunity because I just take off.
That's all right. I will stop you.
All right. There's the bad guy. The bad guy in this he crosses over from the earlier time to the later time. But I didn't realize that this is going to be a series. I don't see anything anywhere where it says it's going to be a series, but it has to be because you've got all of these.
I think Jane only writes series.
Must be.
Yeah.
Are we recording again?
We are. I can stop it if you like.
No, you just got quieter.
I did?
Yeah, now that's better.
Oh, yeah, I have to just yell at the damn computer. Okay.
All right, then.
All right.
All right. Yeah, there's obviously somebody back home for Alana's ex-girlfriend. So Alana is, I don't know if I already said that, she's an empathetic, so she can't read minds, but she picks up on emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows that her ex-girlfriend was sad about leaving someone, but Alana couldn't stay in the city anymore because all of the emotions from everybody were just bombarding her and making her crazy.
Yeah.
And then, then you have the evil guy who tore her boundaries down. So there's that. And then, yeah, so I mean, it seems obvious that it's going to be a series. I wish I had known that. I really thought that this was a standalone.
Well, I don't know that it isn't, but everything that Jane writes, I believe, are series.
Mm.
This is your first foray into her work?
No. I've read the first two of the Liarmouth series, and that was the other thing. Is I really thought that this book just felt the same to me as the Liarmouth series, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I really enjoyed the two books that I read.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to read more of that series, but they felt very much the same. Both of them have main characters who are mercenaries, who are young and coming into their own, partnered with a magical partner, or not that Alana was magical, but that psychic, magical type thing. So it seemed very similar. Have you read any of the other series, the Calendo or Caliendo?
Seleno? I think it's Seleno.
Yes.
I have, actually, and I'm not sure which one of the series it is, but it's the one where there's a witch. I think she's a witch.
I haven't read any of them yet.
Oh, damn it. But I really like that series a lot.
Now, did you read any of the Liarmouth series?
Yeah, I've read everything she's written. I just can't.
Okay.
My poor little brain can't wrap around which was which.
I see. So they all have that same kind of similar
feel.
Mercenary magical feel.
Yeah. They all have that same kind of feel.
Okay. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't. I think I didn't know what to expect, really. I'm not a huge Jane Fletcher fan. I really enjoyed the first book in the Liarmouth series because I read it when I was just starting to read more of the fantasy genre.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like the second one as much. I think I would put Wolfsbane Winter and the second of the Liarmouth series probably equal for me.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't want to say that I didn't enjoy it because I did. It just wasn't quite as good as I had hoped it was going to be.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I like the humor in it.
Yeah, I like her humor. I'm sorry, I sound a little distracted. I'm just looking back at Jane Fletcher over the other things that she's done, seeing if I can figure out which one of the series I liked better. Which
you know what? You know what? I don't think that this would be a spoiler because I think it's not very difficult to figure out. And if it is, you can tell me, and then we can back it up. But they have they during in Spain winter, there's the time of chaos, and they describe different things that they come across from the time of chaos, and they're traveling through the mountains during one part, and they're talking about how the road is cut into the mountain, and you come to find out that the time of chaos is now.
Yeah.
And that this is set in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was first reading it, I was like, oh, okay, well, that sounds kind of cool. And then I was like, oh, yeah.
It's like, hit you like an anvil. Bang.
It did. I thought that was really cool. I like that a lot. I don't think I'd come across that before.
Yeah. I don't think her, I'm looking back at Shadow of the Knife, Seleno Book 1. And I'm kind of looking at the product description going, why does that not even sound familiar? But I know I've read her series. I know I've read every series she's had. And you know what? There could be a listener out there that's going to go, no, there wasn't somebody with any special powers in this series, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've read the different series that she has. But I thought they were all, like, one is like regular ordinary, and somebody always has something extraordinary about them. That would be in, the realm of the supernatural or, magical or mystical or something. I just, for some reason, I get that impression. But it's been a while, and maybe one of those series doesn't. But I thought they all did in some way.
Well, it was good.
Yeah.
If you like Jane Fletcher's work, you'll like it. Yeah,
I think she's a very, very good adventure writer. But not adventure as in, like, you got to put the book down because your heart's racing and you're afraid of hyperventilating. It's not nonstop, like, activity. But, you really feel like you're on the trail with these people. You can feel, in some measure how they feel. Like their anxiety or their frustration or, just Jane has a good way of bringing these people alive on the page.
Yeah. Yeah, she does, absolutely. Yep. So go buy the book. It was good. Yep. So there you go.
Yay.
All right then. So the next book is Rebecca and the Highwayman.
Yep.
By
Rebecca
Barbara Davies.
And the Highwayman.
Huh?
I'm just repeating what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, the drinks are good. We'll have to do that again.
I'd never had an apple martini,
so
I wasn't really. Oh, and then I had to call Andy from the grocery store, which actually I do probably more often than people would think, because I have to call and ask, can I get this kind instead of this kind? And that's what I did today, because the recipe called for Di Saronno, which is $24 a bottle. And then there were two other ones. One was $8 and one was $9. So I got the $8 one. It tastes fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I bought the $8 one. I didn't buy the expensive one.
I think it'd be different if I was drinking it on the rocks or something like that.
Oh, yeah. But in a mixed drink, shit. Why spend the extra money?
Shit, yeah.
But that's just me. And you, apparently.
And me, that's right. There. I got to use my new shaker today.
Yay.
For the first time. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, so, all right. So Rebecca and the Highwayman by Barbara Davies. We talked about Christy and the Hellcat from Barbara, and I think we both agree that we like her stuff. She's a good writer, tells a good tale. It's usually some type of a historical thing, which, of course, we both enjoy. I had read Rebecca and the Highwayman, the online version, a couple years ago, and really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. I guess I should have gone ahead and... I'm sitting here trying to tap on my screen.
Well, yeah, these drinks are more potent than you think.
I'm used to doing stuff on my damn iPad.
Oh, that's too damn funny.
Okay, so here we go. Again, I'm going to cheat.
Oh, you cheater. Cheaters never win, damn it.
You're right, but it'll help me to stammer less.
Okay.
All right. Rebecca and the Highwaymen by Barbara Davies. It's 1706, the time of good Queen Anne. Mistress Rebecca Dutton never dreamed that several encounters with the notorious highwayman Blue-Eyed Nick on the deserted heaths around London would turn her respectable world upside down. When she did...
And this is helping you stammer less.
It is. Just imagine how bad it would be otherwise.
Woo!
When she discovers the highwayman is actually a woman named Kate, her curiosity about the dashing thief turns to fascination. Kate has to deal with the thief takers, with a thief taker snapping at her heels, and secrets from her past before Rebecca can become better acquainted with this intriguing highwaywoman. Will Kate avoid the shadow of Tyburn long enough for Rebecca to explore this twist of fate? Well, yes, she does. So there you go.
Oh, Lordy. I think, and I'm sure Barbara Davies would correct me if I'm wrong, because you know she listens to this show.
She's a big fan.
Big fan, people. But I think that this story was inspired by the Xena Gabrielle dynamic.
Oh yeah, the dedication in the book is to Lucy and Renee.
Oh, well, see, I didn't reread it for this show because I have read it so many times. I kid you not, I have read this book so many times, online and actual in print. I have it in my library.
I'm going to read the. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, the dedication to Lucy and Renee with thanks for the inspiration.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It is very, very sweet.
I mean, this story is so improbable and impossible, but it's one of those. It's like watching the first Indiana Jones movie. You know, it's crazy and it's silly. None of that shit would ever happen the way it happened. But it's fun to jump on that ride and just, suspend disbelief and roll and ride. Just go with it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what this book is. It's just a lot of fun. That's all it is.
It is, and it starts out with Kate in jail, getting ready to go be hung, and she's having this really vivid dream, and she grabs you right away. Yeah,
she does.
And the story it's really good, and you. There's a lot of that same Xena and Gabrielle dynamic.
Yeah.
The protector and the risk taker and her horsemanship and her weapons. Her fearlessness and charm and all of those things, and then Rebecca with the kind of the caretaker.
Little naive, little trusting,
but smart.
But smart.
I liked. Kate leaves her girlfriend Alice's bed to go out and rob somebody, and it turns out that it's Rebecca and her sister and her mom and her maid. Mary, and she doesn't. Kate, gets them all stopped and is trying to take their valuables, and she doesn't take Rebecca's ring, and
because it was heirloom.
It was her dead father's ring.
Yeah, that's right.
He wanted her to have it, and then there was a flashback about that. There weren't a lot of flashbacks, which was good.
Thank goodness.
I think the flashback with her father was probably the longest of them, and it happened early on enough where I wasn't completely into the story, so it felt a little longer than it probably really was. But so Kate ends up. Kind of robbing them 3 times, or twice, and then she rescues them, and she's wounded, during the rescue and ends up going back to Rebecca's room. And only Mary, the maid, knows that she's there, where they find out that she's really a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty fast paced, and we don't want to give too much away, but Rebecca ends up saving Kate, and we don't need to say how or why or anything like that.
Right.
And honestly, I thought the story could have ended there.
Yeah, there was a few places I thought, I'm completely satisfied, but I kept reading it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a period piece, and God forbid that I, not capitalize. There's so few of them that are very, very good like that. So, I got to keep reading. But it was good. She did a really good job. I think originally this was done in like 5 different little shorts, like little short stories that got all put together. I think is how originally it was presented.
Yeah, and I think that's why there's that feel after, there's this huge rush to save Kate, and they're you're building up to this big climax, and then that happens, and then it kind of goes on again to do more stuff, and then there's then it just kind of goes on. Mm-hmm. It didn't really feel like we were building to much else after that, but it was still good enough to keep your attention.
Yep.
What I really enjoyed, one of the scenes that I really enjoyed was when Kate's fellow highwayman was convicted and hanged.
Yes.
And
you enjoyed that, did you?
Well, what I enjoyed was the detail that Barbara Davies put in, as far as what happens after the executioner drops them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily boom, they die.
No.
They had. She was talking. She writes about how the loved ones are kind of up front, so that when they drop, their family and friends can run up and hang on their legs, so that their neck breaks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they twitch around and
they strangle to death.
Yeah. So that
when you die, your the muscles that hold things in, like anything you have in your bladder or anything you have in your intestines, just let go.
Yeah. So
it ain't pretty.
Leg.
Yeah, it ain't pretty. Just ain't.
Well, we didn't have a whole lot to say about it, but I love this. I think this is by far my favorite of Barbara Davies' work.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorites. Yep, absolutely.
She does a great job with the details of the time, as far as like the chamber pots and the clothing and the jails and just the harshness.
Yeah.
It's hard to put down.
Yeah. Go do yourself a favor and go buy this book as well.
Absolutely.
It's a fun little romp. It's got some definite clincher moments. Mm-hmm. It's got some. Yeah, it's got a little bit of BS moments because trying to save Nick and having one of the relatives go to the Queen. I mean, come on, what are the odds? But it's a fun story.
I don't know that any additional editing was done from the online version to the published version, because I found several errors that were very, very simple, a word not taken out during editing, or, just really, really simple things that an editor would have caught had there been another read through. So, if you don't have the dough, or you want to check it out before you buy, go online. Go online and read it.
True. But if you do like it, I encourage you to buy it to, say thank you to the author.
That's right.
Yeah.
These folks are really, they're helping us to enjoy ourselves, and
yep.
We need to support that in any way that we can.
Yep, I'm with you there.
So,
I think hence the reason it's kind of like a full circle thing. hence the reason why we decided the first place winner in our writing contest would get cash.
There you go. At least $5.
It's more than that, damn it. Come on now.
$5.50, but that's as high as I'm going.
He's such a liar. That's wrong, might tell you.
Well, I guess that's really about it.
Yeah,
we like the books.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we read them, so, things aren't coming as quickly. But again, we don't want to... Okay, here's the thing. I'm just going to lay it out there. They're both good. They're... But there's nothing. I mean, I don't know. Nothing rave worthy. Maybe Rebecca and the Highwaymen is more rave worthy.
I gotta say because I really like that story premise and how she carried it off.
She did such a great job with the storytelling.
She did. And it's my fault that I think. Well, it's my fault that I didn't reread both of these stories over the last month for various reasons, and I do apologize to the listeners. I didn't probably contribute as much as I could have if they were within a 1 week's time span of me reading them. I had a lot going on between the eye surgery, and I'm doing a lot of research for a project. Let's put it that way. And I'm doing a hell of a lot of research on a project. Mm-hmm. So it's taking quite a bit of my time, which is another reason why we're going to tell you today that for the next, couple of months, we're going to focus on one story, whether it's, a published version or a fan fiction story. But instead of doing our traditional two, we're going to do one so that it continues to allow me to have the time I need to do my background research.
But we're also going to be trying to line up a lot more guests too to make it more interesting for you listeners. We've got I'll just put it out there. We've got Beth Wild coming on to talk about her book
Girls Gone Wild.
Women Gone Wild.
Oh, well, no, but I'm just thinking Girls Gone Wild. I hear wild. But it is Women Gone Wild, yeah.
So that's a selection of short erotica. I read a great review of it just the other day.
And your wife's going to read you a few stories as nighttime reading, right?
That's right. My wife has agreed to do that. So
yay!
I'll have fond, happy memories when Beth comes on, so I'll be able to thank her.
Exactly.
A big one. We have J.M. Redman.
Well, yep.
Agreed to come on in October.
Yay.
And we've got a few other authors that have expressed interest that we'll be reaching out to.
Well, Susan Maher has agreed to do the show. We're just trying to get the date down between, vacations. That woman's always going somewhere.
Yep.
So we're trying to line those dates up. We're actually physically, right now, trying to line those dates up. It's not high in the sky. Oh, maybe by Christmas. No, we're trying to actively do it now. So
we've got a list. And we're gonna try and put together a fun Halloween show.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about that anymore because we don't have all the details. But next show in 2 weeks. It is our anniversary.
Yay!
We'll have been doing the show for 1 year exactly.
Yep.
We recorded or we put out our first show on September 3rd, and we're going to be recording the next show on September 3rd. And we talked about having trying to get some guests on, and then we decided, you know what, this is our anniversary. Let's talk about a couple of our favorites.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing next time probably our absolute favorite.
I'm so excited! It's almost excited as a writing contest. Oh Lordy! Go ahead, announce it so I can just swoon.
It's All That Matters.
Oh my God!
By Susan Maher.
I love that story.
And we're also going to be doing Madam President by Blaine Cooper and T. Novin.
Yep, yay.
So no guests, but just us gushing over two great books.
Yep.
So we haven't decided on a drink yet, but we'll figure that out. Right?
You know, I was thinking, okay, now just because we just announced we're going to do 2 stories, and I just said earlier we were going to go down to 1.
Yeah, but this is a special exception.
This is a special exception because it is
because
our 1
we've
year.
read them so much.
Yeah, we
that,
have.
You know.
I swear to God, I think I read All That Matters at least twice a year. Every year.
I think I do too.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think the same with Madam President.
I've only read that one once, but I really liked it. The other one that I read at least twice a year is None So Blind. But you said we couldn't do that
no,
because we already did it.
Yeah. Flashback Central. No. The only other story that there are 2 other stories I can think of that I've reread now several times is Tiope Key Lakota.
Yeah, we already done it. We did a
and
show
we did
on that
one. Yep. And Moody's Seduction of Moxie. I swear to God, I think I've read that 5 or 6 times, and it only came out in 2010.
Yeah, I only read that one the one time, but I mean I've read I read it halfway again for the show with her, and it's just great. There's so many scenes that are just burned into my brain. I don't need to read them again. I can see them everywhere.
Oh no, I just sometimes I love that stupid conversation that they have over the phone where Moxie has to go in the parlor and some other woman is listening. And she's hearing what Moxie's saying, but that in itself is so shocking, and she can't, she's like, what the fuck? And so Moxie's getting all upset. It's like, back off, sister, or, don't you have something else to do? And because the woman is so transfixed, she can't leave the parlor and can't stop listening to Moxie talk to Violet. That's just hilarious. Oh, I get a big kick out of that. So that's why I reread that book for that damn scene. I love that scene.
Very nice.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the others that I've read numerous times are Bad Girls fan fiction by the woman that did that SVU fic that we did, Allie.
Oh, I like that SVU fic we did.
Yeah, I did too. But you don't like Bad Girls.
No, I don't like Bad Girls.
It's a prison thing.
Not only that, but even in real life, I never liked the Bad Girls.
Oh, but the ones that one of the ones that I like the best, or actually 2 of them that I like the best, don't have. Well, I guess the other one is kind of, but one of them it's an Uber where it has Nikki she's a symphony conductor. And Helen is an actress who's been hired to play her in a film, in a docu film on her life. Mm-hmm. And it was good. I like the author. She's so good with the angsty, character-driven stuff.
Well, she sure as hell did that with the SVU fic.
Yeah. So, all right. So there you go. So we've got All That Matters, which I'm going to read again. I don't care.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll just have to forsake a little research, but I will definitely love to read that again.
And I need to read Madam President again, and it's not available on ebook. I think we checked that, and so I'll be reading the online version.
Yeah, I'll read the online version because that's what I put on my. I might have put. Yeah, that's what I put on my iPad.
Yeah, because it's not available in ebook.
Yeah.
So unless you typed it out.
Oh hell no! Or scanned and fed it in, but no.
Who the hell wants to do that shit? Really?
There's probably somebody out there that can. Or
do you know
would,
how long
or
that
does.
crap would take?
That would take forever.
Eesh. All right, listeners, go write a damn story and put Cocktail Hour and Bearded Clam in it so we can give you money.
Maybe, if you're good enough. Ha! Well, we are serious. They got to be good stories. We got actual judges.
And we have very specific criteria that they'll be judging on. We've got a form that says, how is the dialogue, how is the storytelling. So I mean, this isn't just my buddy Tim said that he was going to enter and he was just going to write something like, this is a really, 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 really good story about a bearded clam, and I really, really like it because he wanted to make sure he could hit the word count. I told him, yeah, that's hilarious. Don't bother.
No, that ain't working.
No, we're serious about this. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We want it to be a success our first year because if it is, who knows what will happen in subsequent years. That's all I'm saying. You never know. Oh, you owe me a Coke.
I'll get you one next June.
Oh, okay then. I got to wait that long, do I?
You do. Yeah.
Right.
You do. All right then.
Well, thank you all for listening. We have enjoyed ourselves. This was a little bit more sedate, I think, than many of our other broadcasts or podcasts.
I agree.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
Occasionally we want to, act like adults.
Bite your tongue.
No, I prefer others to do that. Oh! All righty then.
And on that note.
So long, all.
Bye.